Good afternoon, everyone. This is a tropical update here on Hurricane Fiona for September 18th, 2022. We have a lot of impact information coming in, a lot of new data that is coming in here, and also a mass power outage in Puerto Rico with continuing flooding from rainfall. We're going to get right into it here. Here's the satellite imagery of the Atlantic Basin. We actually do have a disturbance here in the middle of the Atlantic that does have a 20% chance of a cyclone formation in 5 days that we are not really going to be talking about today, because we do have a lot of information about Hurricane Fiona from the National Hurricane Center and a lot of impact updates. Like I said, as you can see, this is the poweroutage.us for Puerto Rico, and all this red here, this is 100%. Puerto Rico is 100% without power due to transmission grid failures caused by Hurricane Fiona. So the entire island of Puerto Rico here is out of power, and we have no idea how long it's going to take to get back to that power. But right now, as I'm making this video, this was last updated around 12:49 p.m. They are going to be without power with probably for the next week or so, until they get lots of power companies out there to fix the transmission grid that apparently failed from Hurricane Fiona. Here's the National Hurricane Center. There's that disturbance up there that does have a 20% chance, or a 10% chance. It did have a 20% yesterday, but there's also Hurricane Fiona, which also has 85-mile-per-hour winds. This just became a hurricane a few hours ago, and we also do have around a central pressure of 986 millibars, located at about 17.8 north, 66.9 west, and this is pretty much right now making landfall on Puerto Rico, just on a little southwestern tip. And we do have a very considerable amount of rainfall, very significant amount of rainfall that is occurring on the southern half of the island that will cause some major flooding, some life-threatening flooding here throughout the next couple of days. And we can look at the forecast going. As you can see here, let me put the track line there. As you can see, it is currently right on Puerto Rico. I'm not sure if it's actually make landfall in Puerto Rico yet, but it is going to make it landfall on just the southwestern tip there. We now do have tropical storm watches out for portions of the Turks and Caicos, and maybe a little bit of Bahamas, I'm not sure, but a lot of these islands are going to be the Turks and Caicos. As you can see there, this is just going to be going east of the Turks and Caicos, so you won't be seeing many impacts, but maybe some tropical storm force wind gusts and rainfall from that. Turks and Caicos will be missing the majority of those impacts. Dominican Republic now has hurricane warnings out right now, and you will be seeing it overnight tonight. Hurricane Fiona, those impacts for the Dominican Republic. Of course, you have those tropical storm warnings out also for the kind of the outskirts of Hurricane Fiona. Only a little bit is hurricane force winds. The entirety of the storm is not hurricane force winds. Just the little center does have those hurricane force winds. And again, this will continue to strengthen as the National Hurricane Center could be expecting a major Category 3 hurricane by 8 a.m. Wednesday. That will make a very close approach to Bermuda, so we need to really watch that closely within the next 5 days. Thankfully, the peak storm surge for Puerto Rico and surrounding Puerto Rico islands, as you can see, only around 1 to 3 feet of storm surge is expected for mainly the, again, southern coastlines and the surrounding islands of Puerto Rico. Here's the actual rain forecast for the next 72 hours, and as you can see, we could even see upwards of 20 to 25 inches of rainfall throughout the majority of the southeastern portion of Puerto Rico. More of those reds are still a ton of rainfall, around 15 inches of rainfall there. But again, as you can see, we get lesser as you get to the more northwestern portion, only about 3 inches for that green. When you're about the yellow and the oranges, you're going to see upwards of 6 to 8, maybe even 10 inches of rainfall in localized spots throughout the majority of the northwestern portion. But again, more of this significant flash flooding will be happening here in more of the southern half, going into the northeastern half of Puerto Rico. So please stay safe out there. If you do live in Puerto Rico, you do have power outages. Again, the entire island is out of power, as we speak, so please stay safe out there. Looking at this intense satellite imagery, as you can see, the very center, we have some very intense convection really exploding on the infrared satellite imagery right over Puerto Rico. Now, I do believe this made a this is going to be making a very brief landfall here on southwestern Puerto Rico, then making another landfall in Dominican Republic later tonight. Again, we could see an eye forming actually overnight with this amount of convection. Now, it is going to over a lot of land with this, so it may not form an eye just yet, an eye wall with all this convection. But if this was over water right now, this could definitely have a very intense kind of buzzsaw eye with this, if this was pretty much in the middle of the Atlantic. But as you can see, again, very strong convection. This will be strengthening very quickly here throughout the next 3 days as it just goes east of the Turks and Caicos, and as it continues to strengthen its wind, I definitely could see that category 2 hurricane here within the next 40 hours. If you did enjoy the video on the hurricane update, if you want more of these, I will upload these every day at around 2 p.m. Central Time. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on post notifications so you won't miss a single upload or live stream. Share this with any friends or family that may live in Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or even the Turks and Caicos to give them the latest updates here on Hurricane Fiona. And even share this with anyone that does live in Bermuda to keep them updated on the path and track here of Hurricane Fiona. Again, daily tropical updates are at 2 p.m. Central Daylight Time. As always, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.